Welcome back to the TeaTime with Teens podcast. I'm your host, Diamond, and I thank you for listening in on this episode today. So as you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about early colleges versus community colleges, what you need to know about them, and seeing if it might be a good fit for you. So this video is mostly going to be tailored towards 8th graders, upcoming 8th graders, as well as high school seniors and anyone in their high school years, and the parents of a high schooler or 8th grader. I think I covered it all there, but this is for a specific reason because 8th graders are able to apply to early college, and then high school seniors or high schoolers in general are able to apply to a community college, or at least start thinking about it and contemplating whether they want to go to community college versus university first. So that's basically the main sort of audience for this episode. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing is explaining what an early college or community college is. I go to an early college. It's really nice, but an early college is a 4 to 5 year program where students are able to get both their high school diploma and their associate's degree in either art, science, engineering, maybe even nursing. You get to get that within 4 to 5 years along with your high school diploma while you're in high school. So it's kind of like, it's like double credit, I guess you could say. And that's what kind of they talk about, which is dual credit. So it's getting both at the same time where you're fulfilling your high school diploma while also gaining extra credit to put towards your associate's degree, which will ultimately help you in cutting down on classes and time and money when you go to an actual university. Now, on the other hand, a community college is a 2-year college where you're able to start earning credits towards your associate's degree, which is going to be the first 2 years of your life before university. So when you go to a university, there's going to be, in the first 2 years, you don't really know what you want to do yet. Even if you do, you're just going to basically be taking required classes that are not necessarily going towards your degree. They're more just like general education classes, making sure you're up on your math, sciences, all those different things. However, you can get those at a community college for about half the price, which is something we're going to go into later. So that's kind of the whole gist of community college. You'll graduate with your associate's degree, and if you want to go to a university, you'll still be able to transfer those credits to hopefully a university, hopefully all of them. You do have to be careful if you're trying to go out of state, and making sure that your credits will be able to transfer, or seeing how many will transfer, but we'll probably explain some of that later. So you're probably thinking early college sounds like interesting, it's pretty nice. So what are some of the benefits? Well, the biggest benefit about our early college is that, like I said, you're getting 2 degrees in about the same time, or the same period of time. And ultimately, you're able to cut back on a lot of money or tuition that you would have put towards going to a university for 4 years. So as we know, college is very much not cheap, which is why I kind of wanted to make this episode as a more financially beneficial sort of program, aside from doing a typical CCP program at a high school. You're able to get that associate's degree for free because it's going to be covered by the county, so that you can get all those classes. So for early college, you're able to take the classes, and the state or the county that you're in will pay for all of them. You will not be charged anything except for if there's fees, which is the biggest difference between community college, because for some community colleges, you are most likely going to have to pay something. It's not going to be as expensive as a university, but early college completely wipes out those expenses. There are some tuitions, like I said, for some classes, like not really tuitions, but extra fees and stuff like that, but they're really cheap. Most people will give scholarships towards them, or you can even vouch for financial aid and they can cover that for you if you're in a more financially tight position. But ultimately, it's a great way to save money in the long term if your child wants to go to a 4-year university and they already kind of have a gist of what they want to do. Then I think it's definitely a great pathway. And then community college is great as well. As I said, you're getting the degree and being able to transfer. The best thing is that you're able to kind of dabble in different classes and figure out what you actually want to do before you transfer to a university and are having to make all these big decisions for your first time in a while. A lot of people end up changing majors, end up doing different things, and end up paying more money because they don't really know what they want to do. So having that time to go to a community college, get at least an associate's, and try to figure out maybe what you want to do more in depth can be something that's super helpful. And you're at least getting your education, so it's not like you're just taking a gap year and just working. You can work and have a community college life experience, and you can stay at home, save money that way, and you can still go to work and have flexible classes while you're figuring all this out before just jumping into a 4-year university where they're having you pay all this money for something that you may not want to do yet. So I think it's just something really good to consider, especially for parents who are probably struggling or stressing out about the fact that college costs so much now, and seeing the student loan debt crisis is something that we definitely want to avoid. So that's a great benefit of community college as well. Also, in both early college and community colleges, the teachers really want their students to excel. It's not like you're just going to be some random student of a professor that has like 500 students to teach that year. It's going to be a much more intimate environment where you're able to take on more leadership positions, and also you're able to have more one-on-one time with your teachers, which I thought was a great thing. And ultimately, all of my teachers really want me to succeed. I know some high schools, some people hate their teachers, but I haven't really had a teacher that I've quote unquote like hated or really disliked. They all were super passionate about what they were teaching and took the time to really help you understand the material, which was a big benefit of early colleges and community colleges as well. So you might be thinking, okay, this thing sounds great, but maybe am I fit for it? Do you have to have a certain GPA, certain grades? So going into early college, for the process of applying to an early college, you're probably going to want to speak to your counselor if they haven't brought it up, or look for a local early college in your area, in your county, especially if you have a community college near there, and you want to look on that webpage to see when they're having applications, or you can ask your guidance counselor and stuff like that, and hopefully they should help you as well. And so you're going to have to apply. So it's great to have great academics when you are applying to an early college. I'm not going to lie, it's great to have pretty steady grades. It doesn't have to be like straight A's. I definitely did not have straight A's. But definitely if you're an A and B student, that's really what they're looking for. Maybe a couple C's here and there, but A and B's is really something good to have on there. The GPA should be reflected through your grades. So if you're making those A's and B's, that should be looking pretty well. If you're taking honors classes, it would be great for you because you already have a little bit of a head start and may not have to take as many classes as some other people, things like that. And also, I know it sounds really good, but if your child is really into, or you're into athletics, dance, a lot of sportsy extracurriculars, theater, stuff like that, it's not that you cannot do that stuff, obviously, but most early colleges or community colleges don't really have sports like that, or really communities like that. It's going to be something that you'll have to do outside of your school as a different extracurricular. It's not like a high school where you're going to have the theater program and the sports program and all these different things. So if you're really into like a sport or something like that, and that's your passion, that's what you want to do, an early college may not be for you. Maybe just focus on playing the sport so well that you get a scholarship. But yeah, definitely if you're more of an artsy person or more of a sportsy person, it may not exactly be for you, but I am a pretty artsy person and I find it quite well. The good thing about early college is that they give you so many opportunities to build up clubs and have these positions of leadership so early on. So even if you don't have a program, you can always ask about starting a club, and that will ultimately look really good on your resume and your applications as well. So that's just something to think about if you like those career paths more of becoming an artist or sports person like that. Also, say you like hanging out with your friends a lot. Okay, that sounds bad. But if you're like a super social interactive person, yes, it's good, but you need to have the balance where you're able to still focus on your work. Because ultimately, early college is going to cause you to really gain a lot of responsibility, a lot of time management skills really early. I know the first semester everyone was kind of stressed out with all the work that we had, but ultimately we handle it just fine now. We really learned time management early on. We learned not to procrastinate, although some of us do sometimes, but we really had a better grip and a better grasp on that, even when our parents complained to like the principal saying that, oh, they really don't need all this work, like this is too much for them. The principal was like, oh no, just let them figure it out, because I had it during COVID. We figured it out, we're good now, we're solid. But another thing you have to understand is that it's going to be a bit harder to get into an early college program. It is a selective program. Some people who do have all the grades simply don't make it in, and it's really sad. Some people who maybe didn't have the grades will make it in. So this leads into the next part, which is talking about your interview. You're most likely going to have an interview for your early college program, or you can at least see I had an interview. So you're going to go in person. They're going to ask you probably about what you're interested in, why you chose to go to an early college, and all that kind of stuff, your name and stuff like that. it's really not that stressful if you like public speaking, I guess, but really don't stress about it. Just think about how you're going to answer some questions and really live in the moment of it. And be persuasive. Let them know why you want to go there. And that's going to be the best thing that's going to push you forward. You won't believe how many people, smart people, have been rejected from early college. And I see them at actual high schools. And I'm like, oh, you applied? And they seem like super smart, super mature people. And then there's some other people who may not be the most mature, but they made it through. So I think it always comes down to that interview as well as your grades. It has to be a good mix. So don't just be one thing or the other. Be both and really be well versed in how you talk and speak to people. I felt like my interview went really well. I really connected with my future teachers. They were super duper fun and very interested. And yeah, I really liked my interview. I was so happy after I did it. Maybe I'll put up a picture or something eventually, like on Instagram or on this video. But yeah, so after the interview process, you'll eventually probably be either accepted or waitlisted. Waitlisted is definitely not a bad thing. Most people do, drop out or whatever, and it's a good chance, so don't be down if you are waitlisted. And ultimately, if you do get in, you'll have a very fun adventure to start and continue for the next 4 or 5 years. Now, the thing is, like I said, early college is not for everybody. So that first year is really going to be the kind of make or break sort of moment. A lot of people end up dropping out because they want a traditional high school experience. So if you've always dreamed about having that traditional high school experience and it's something that you still want and can't, unsee in your future or whatever, it may not be for you, because a lot of people do end up dropping out, going back to their traditional high schools. And if you're not able to stay focused and continue getting good grades, you can also be sent back, because say you fail an actual community college class, the state is not going to pay, or the county is not going to pay for you to take that class again. So the only way you're going to be able to finish your degree is by taking that class. And if you fail the first time, you're going to have to pay for that class in full over again, which is going to be more money than you want to pay. So you have to really be serious and committed and like to learn and like to get good grades and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to have the most time to be going and, I don't even know what actual high school students do. I don't know, go to parties, all that kind of stuff, which is a myth to me because I don't know that. But so if that's really the kind of lifestyle that you want, then that's great. But, just saying to make sure that you understand what you're getting into, so that way the people that really want to be there and want to have that lifestyle are able to live it. Now, say you're an 8th grader, or not an 8th grader, but a 9th grader, a high school student, and you're thinking, wow, I really thought I probably should have done that early college program. It sounds really nice. I just didn't know about it. The thing is, you can still enroll in a CCP program, which I think it stands for like College and Career Progression, one of those things, where you can still take community college classes as well as high school classes, but you're going to have to do it on your high school campus instead of a traditional community college campus where early college students would be. You're not going to get maybe as many credits unless you really pile them up. It's probably not the best, but you could if you would like to. But it's just not as structured, so it's something that you would more so have to do on your own with getting all of those credits if you did want to graduate with an associate's or something like that. I don't really know how that works. Not a part of CCP, so I can't speak too much on it. But like I said earlier, mentioning a community college, if you really thought early college was something you might be interested in, again, consider going to a community college as well. Save that money, get that, education, and also get to be a part of a great community, and you get to see such a diverse group of people as well, which is something really nice. And you get to stay at home, you can work, that way you're able to pay for future tuition if you need to. So I think it's just a great idea. Maybe if you're past that early college age and you're still thinking, oh, but I really would like some of the benefits of an early college, a community college is definitely a great second. And don't ever let someone think that it's something for dumb people. I think there's like a stereotype that a community college means that you just weren't smart enough for university or you're just lost in life and all that kind of stuff. It really doesn't. There's so many people of different backgrounds that are able to transfer to great universities after going to a community college. I mean, no one's going to really care because you're getting the same education that the people at a university would get. So might as well save the money. I mean, tuition isn't going down anytime soon, as we can see. So, I mean, if it's something that you're really interested in and you don't really have a big school that you're set on, I think it's definitely something great to look into, like I mentioned earlier. Well, that's going to be pretty much the end of this little discussion. And without further ado, we're going to get into the Bible verse for this week. The Bible verse from this week comes from Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 21, which says, "No, do not be afraid of those nations, for the Lord your God is among you, and he is a great and awesome God." So maybe this doesn't make sense in context, I guess, but it really was kind of important to me, because I remember when I was having my early college interview and I told you how I really liked how I felt after it. I literally danced to the song "He Reigns an Awesome God" by Kirk Franklin, and I just remembered that song. And yeah, so I thought I would look up the Bible verse. So it's saying that God is an awesome God, so ultimately he's going to get you wherever you need to go, whether it's an early college, a community college, a university, a trade school, or maybe it's just no school at all. So it's just trusting whatever he has planned for you and surrendering to his plans and not to yours, and ultimately asking him what he wants you to do in this situation, and trusting that everything will work out despite what you might think in your mind, or what may come in your mind of negativity. So I just want y'all to remember that this week. I hope y'all have a great week. Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.